Hello again, everyone. It's me on day 10 of the Seeds for the Future program. For the past few days, I've been involved in a lot of different things. I've been quite busy. Usually, I post every 2 days, but I thought it'd be appropriate to leave an extra day because the work I've been doing today and what I did yesterday was fairly similar, and it'd be good to kind of group it all together. So, since the last video that I posted on Saturday when I went to the Great Wall, I had another free day on the Sunday. I was just visiting and exploring a bit more of Beijing. I got to go to the Summer Palace, which is quite an old palace consisting of Buddhist temples and also gardens and a lake. It was a beautiful place, really scenic, and it was really nice to get away from the usual hustle and bustle of the city and all the skyscrapers and all the cars and the people to a quieter place, one which is more in touch with nature. And what I really love about Beijing is how readily available such places are. This isn't like a unique place. There's quite a few green spots in around Beijing. Maybe not as much as there would be back home, but the places that are available are really nice and well worth a visit. So it was great to get away and see kind of a different environment and also learn more about the history of the place and the origins of the buildings and see Buddhist architecture. So that was a Sunday. On the Monday and Tuesday, I've been at the Beijing Institute of Technology, where I've been working with a different group of students to kind of learn more about Chinese culture and more about the way they do things and do some team building activities, which really gave me a chance to broaden my perspective on Chinese people and Chinese students. One thing that really stands out for me is just about Chinese people in general is how welcoming they are and how friendly they are. I think they're quite reserved and cautious with people they don't know, but once you gain their trust and develop a relationship with them, they're absolutely amazing. I've had numerous examples of meeting Chinese people who've really gone out their way to help me. For example, I think I mentioned in my last video that I was trying to get hold of football tickets for a match in Beijing, and I couldn't get hold of them myself because they were all sold out. But one of the guys who I met on the university, he had some tickets, and he offered to help me and my friends. And leading up to the game, it was about an hour before the game, and he was going out of his way to kind of contact people and try and find tickets for us. And kickoff was at 7:30, and it was 7:35, and he was still there looking for tickets for us. And he was really sad and upset himself that he wasn't able to do so, even though it was a really massive game in Beijing, and it was really difficult to get tickets for because being at Derby and everyone wanted to go. And it was a really touching experience for me, and really that's been reflective of other people that I've met in China as well. I've had other experiences like that where they've tried their uttermost to help me and be hospitable and welcoming. And that's a really massive thing that I've taken about the Chinese. Just makes me think about myself and my approach to people, and it's really encouraged me to be more welcoming and more friendly and help my guests and really treat them better, which is a really valuable thing I've taken from this all. In regards to the work I've been doing at the university, I've been attending some lectures by businessmen and professors and so on, which has been good, giving me a better insight into politics and finance, the economic situation in China. We had a talk by one of the businessmen, and I learned something really interesting about the work he does. So obviously this is something we can appreciate in the UK as well. There's a lot of waste that comes from restaurants, so the food that doesn't get eaten and it usually gets thrown away. But this guy's found a way of collecting all the food from these Chinese restaurants, and what he does is he separates the cooking oil from the food and uses that oil as biodiesel to be used as fuel. I found that quite fascinating, and it's a really good way of turning what's a negative in food waste into a positive, which is fuel. Not just in China, but across the world, we have a problem with not only pollution, but also, fossil fuels and all these resources depleting. And it's solutions like this which can really aid in those issues. It's great to see such an innovative approach to food waste. I hope that this is something that can be implemented in the UK in the future. I think it's a great idea. All in all, it's been very interesting. A different week I've had this week to the one in previous weeks. It's a more formal and more kind of business orientated, but I've learnt a lot once again. And that's about it. I have another day of business visits tomorrow to a small startup company, and also use the opportunity to talk about a business visit I did today. And then I move on to another part of China in the south called Shenzhen, which is going to be a totally different experience. So yeah, the videos will vary a lot more next week. After I post the other video in 2 days' time, I'll also post some pictures because I realise I haven't been that active on Facebook, and I think give everyone a different perspective on what I've been experiencing in China so far. So the next video in 2 days will be a wrap up of everything I've done and what I've learned in the first half of this trip, as well as a few photos of my experiences. Thanks again for listening, and post another video soon.